Good afternoon, everyone. I'm a little early, so I'm going to wait for you guys to log in. I see Marisol. Hello, Marisol. Welcome. McKenna, Mallory, Alexis McDougall, Carmen Pacheco, Mallory Harvard, Jana Estes, Chloe. Welcome, everyone. Hello, Leslie, Hannah, Jazzy G, Lauren Rivera. Excuse me, I'm talking a little bit lower. I'm starting to lose my voice, so hopefully you guys can hear me. Connie Ramos, Tabitha Kelly, Yaritza Gonzalez. Hello, Samantha Slottish, Sam Slottish, Amber Crum, Lauren Baldwin. Hi, Lauren. Hey, Chandler Porter. Tabitha, this is your last live. That's right. You graduate today. Congratulations. Yes, ma'am. It's a lovely day to graduate. Hi, Marina. Hey, Crystal. How you doing? Hopefully, you guys have had a great day today. Um, what I'm going to be going over today is the State Board chemical preparation. So, hope you have pen and paper because it's basically notes and discussion. We'll do it fast, quick, and in a hurry, like you guys like it. Hi, Miranda. McD is crying. Yeah. You better hurry up, McDougal. You're going to be the last one left. And again, congratulations to all the graduates, upcoming and past graduates. Hopefully, we'll get to see you guys soon. I could see you online, but we'll see you in the world soon. Hey, Destiny. Oh, Kia. Welcome, Miss Kiara Romano. Brianna Sanchez, Yasmin. So, what I'm going to do for you guys today is simplify the chemical preparation part of your state board exam. As you know, you have a state board written, you have to pass, and then you will be cleared to take the practical. The easiest thing for you to do for yourself is to prepare in advance. And what this means is get all the information you can. This includes your notes from senior theories past, any updates from TDLR. If you don't have one of these books, get one because this is going to be part of number one, which you have to have in your station. It's also going to help you with the written. And this is the newest one. You can order one online. If you just go to the www.tdlr.texas.gov website at the very bottom of that book, you do have to have one of these in your station upon your return to school or work. So make sure that you have one of these. It's going to be vital. It's got a lot of good information, a lot of confusing information. So that's one of the things I wanted to remind you. Also, you guys, if you plan on taking your test, make sure that you have a valid driver's license or identification, something with your picture on it to prove you are you, so that you don't do all that work and show up and get turned away. Okay? So I'm going to do my little setup. And if you guys want to grab some pen and paper, I'm a little under the weather today. Feeling a little sluggish. So if I'm moving a little slow, that's why. So again, this is the State Board Chemical Prep. I'm going to give you notes on the procedure and then what's in each bag. I'm not going to be demoing today, so this is just strictly for the chemical preparation portion, which is 4 criteria that you have to meet for the state board practical. So I'll give you guys just a minute to grab something to write with. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and write this, these are the 4 criteria that you have for the chemical preparation part of your test. Okay, so each one of the criteria, you're going to be scored separately on the points, including the chemical prep. First thing is your chemical preparation. And I'm going to tell you what's going to be in the bag. Then you have a foil highlight service. And you can label your bags in big, bold letters, each one of these different services. You can say foil highlight application service or foil highlight service, as long as you differentiate each bag. So you're going to have a total of 4 bags. Your chemical preparation service, they're going to have you do it on their time. Okay? So every time you talk about board or think about board, or if you know someone that's already gone to board, they will tell you that the proctors will tell you when to start and stop. So you don't have to worry about going overtime or not finishing. They will tell you when you have 5 minutes left or 10 minutes left. So those are the 4 things you're going to have. These are also the labels that need to be on the front of each bag. And if you guys have questions, if you just write them down and then you can ask them at the end and I'll try to answer them for you. So you have 4 bags: your chemical preparation bag, your foil highlight service bag, hydroxide virgin relaxer, and your hydroxide relaxer retouch. And we're going to do each one separately so that you know. So let's talk about the procedure for this particular test. Certain things you should know about the chemical preparation. This part of the test is untimed, okay? And what that means is they're not going to tell you have 20 minutes, go. It's untimed. They're going to give you time to do each one. Each proctor is going to let you know when you start and finish and then how to move on. So it's untimed, so you don't have to worry about doing things in a certain amount of time except for the last one. And then you also, get to choose the quadrant that you want to do each mockery on. You don't have to worry about, as you did in the past, if I have to do my foil mockery on the right front quadrant. You choose each one for each mockery that you do. Yes, you guys are taking notes, okay? This is stakeboard, just going over the chemical preparation. My little tips and tricks. You don't have to take notes, but you should. I would. Okay, the next thing is you have to have all bags pre-packed and they must be properly labeled. So I'm gonna erase this. And when I say properly labeled, they must be able to see the difference between each mockery. You have to have the right wording. Those are the ones I wrote just before. Right? So you have to see chemical preparation bag, chemical surface preparation, foil highlight, but they need to see the difference between each bag. Remember, you're gonna have 4. And then your points are given by proctors, and that's in by timing. For timing. That means finishing in a timely manner. You don't have incomplete practical work. And then passing the safety criteria. We're going to go over the safety criteria. That's what you get your points on. Sanitation is going to be part of the safety criteria, but that's the procedure. So you're getting graded on your preparation, the timing of each service that you perform, that service is performed properly, that your bags are labeled. Really and truly, you guys, the better prepared you are, the easier it's going to be to pass that practical. So that's the chemical preparation procedure. Now we're going to go on to the safety criteria for each one of these that they want to see. So you want to make sure that you write these down, even if you don't take the rest of the notes. And for each mockery, the safety criteria is pretty much the same. And this is what you're scoring points on. The first thing is sanitation. And that's going to be really and truly for each step of your practical is your sanitation. You're going to be looking for whether or not you sanitize your hands before you reach into the bag, if you're sanitizing your hands properly for all of the parts of the test that require it. Just making sure you practice sanitation. The second one, they want you to ensure that your workstation stays sanitary while you're working. You're looking for. You're going to have items that remain on your station for the entire time. That's going to be your EPA spray bottle, your hand gel sanitizer, okay, and your blood exposure bag. So those three things stay on your workstation for the entire test. So that means your workstation stays sanitary as you work. Are you discarding items after use, especially the one-use items? All right. The next one, draping has to be maintained during all of the chemical service work that you do. They want to see a proper draping. If the drape falls off or if it comes, sorry, no, misspelling. If it falls off or if it comes off, or if you accidentally get nervous and take it off and throw it away, that's points off for that part of the criteria. Draping has to remain on the client throughout these services because they are chemical services, and they're just trying to convey to you that chemical services should always be done with a drape. Number 4, I want to see if you replace contaminated items. You cannot use the same tint brush for your hydroxide retouch application as you did for your foil application. So they want to see, and that's your preparation part. They want to see if you packed enough stuff to do each mockery separate. So you have to replace your contaminated items. And what that means is once you're done with your foil highlight, which is going to be the first one, you're going to actually have to discard that contaminated material and replace it with pre-sanitized materials. Sorry, y'all, I had to abbreviate. Hyphen. Number 5 is avoid cross-contamination. That means contaminating one or more of the items that you use. An example is maybe reaching into your pre-sanitized implement bag without sanitizing your hands. That would be considered cross-contamination. Those of you, I really love to hear about your kittens and all of that, but could you please leave that out of the live chat and let's just focus on notes? Thanks, guys. Thank you. Right, number 6, you want to always wear protective gloves during the entire part of that service. You will get nervous. You will accidentally discard your gloves once you begin a new mockery. My guess is that you're probably going to need to pack gloves for each one. If you can remember that you don't have to take your gloves off, okay? They're giving you the option of keeping the same gloves for each mockery, or you can change into a new pair of gloves each time. That's up to you. I, as a nervous person taking a practical test, would probably want to just go ahead and pack gloves in each bag just in case I rip one or accidentally throw one away. Okay. Wear gloves during the entire test, and then how you dispose of waste material. How often do you throw away the right thing? or do you not throw away the right thing? So those are the 7 safety criteria. Disposing of waste, of course, is going to prevent cross-contamination. So is wearing gloves. So those 7 things are going to be grading you on for the safety criteria for each chemical mockery. Okay, so what I like to do is take a little time just in case some of you are confused and answer questions that you have about the chemical preparation bags. And then I'll continue with the notes. No, Joe, they're not taking notes. They're having private conversations in my live chat, and that's annoying. So if you guys want to do that, y'all can text each other. I am trying to teach y'all right now. So give me some concerns that you have about the bags right now. What to label, everything good on that? Because I don't want you to go into school and then get panicked and go, oh my God, chemical mockery is not one bag, it's actually 4. Yes, it's 4 separate bags. All have to be labeled different things. Chemical preparation, foil highlight application, hydroxide virgin relaxer service, and then the hydroxide relaxer retouch. Some of you don't even know that that's the order that has to go in. You can't just decide to do whatever. They're going to give you the time to start. They're going to tell you when you have remaining time, and they're going to tell you when to stop. Okay, so it's untimed by you. You don't have to look at a clock. It's timed by the proctor. Remember, each quadrant is your choice. So you don't have to figure out which one is going to be for which mockery. You choose the quadrant of your choice as long as you are doing the mockery to their satisfaction. Once you're done, you're going to raise your hand to be graded. Proctor will come over, and then they'll tell you to either, move on to your next one. All right? So the first application you're going to do is your foil highlight service. I hope y'all can see that. Okay, so this is, and I'm giving you basically the order in which it's going to come on the test. So I'm going to say number 1, you're going to pull out your foil highlight service application. It'll be a bag by itself. Okay, already labeled, packed properly. For this highlight service, you get, for the actual hands-on, for what they grade you, there's 2 points. Okay, so for the actual application, and the points that you're going to be graded on is if you slice and weave properly. You're going to do 2 foils. So let's do 2 foils. So if you make the mistake and you do 1, you're going to lose a point, and that's half of that grade. So you're going to do 1 slice, 1 weave. Okay, that's going to be 1 of your points. And then the second criteria is you're going to apply what's called the lift product. It's a mock lift product, which is your gel. That means they want to see you apply it, fold the foil, and place it. 2 foils, 1 weave, 1 slice. Easy, right? So practice your foils. Even if you don't like to foil, still do it for this mock, okay? And then you also have the safety criteria that you have to pass that I listed before. If you don't pack a pintail comb, you pack a regular rat tail comb, you'll probably take points off if your foils don't look good. Make sure you don't get too big of a subsection as well, and your weave is not too fine and not too chunky. All right, so for the bag for the foiling, here's what you'll need to have when you pack that particular bag for the foil highlight application. You're going to need your mock bleach. It's not going to be real bleach. You're not going to have to use real. It's mock bleach. It's usually gel, okay? And it's going to be in a small container. It could be like a little squeeze container, something like that. Something small enough to pack. You can empty out a little, maybe some kind of moisturizer container and use it. You're going to need spatulas. For the spatulas, you can use, I like to use the large wax sticks. Just grab 2 of those. And that's because you're not going to be able to reach into your mock bleach with your fingers. You actually have to use something to remove the items from the containers. So I'm just going to write large wax sticks. If you have them, we have them around the school, but those really work well. And like the rounded or the squared ones, it doesn't matter. Then you're going to need your tint bowl, tint brush for your application, I would go ahead and pack a duckbill, one of the little metal ones, just to help hold up that section for your foil. Okay, so metal duckbill. You're going to need, if you're OCD, and this is optional, so I'm going to put it at the bottom, that extra set of gloves that you might want to pack in case you throw your other ones away. You're going to need a pintail comb. That's the comb with the metal tail. I would go ahead and pack an extra one just in case you drop it on the floor, or you can reuse the one you drop if you sanitize it properly. Go ahead and erase, and then I'll add the rest of what's in the bag. Extra OCD people, don't overpack a bunch of stuff. You're not going to need like 5 pintail combs or 6 duckbill clips. Pack what you need for each mockery. Remember, each mockery is different, and you're going to pack for each one differently. Okay, so last thing, the pintail comb is the middle tail comb, preferably the one with the longer tail. You're going to need pre-cut foils. Make sure they're pre-cut and nicely folded. I would go ahead and just take 4. They're not going to take up a lot of space, but you're going to have to use 2 just in case you drop it on the floor. We're going to need a few paper towels. And then I would just pack 1 towel, just to wipe off your hands and just for extra measure to clean or spills. So that's your foil highlight application bag. You do not have to label anything in this bag except for your mock bleach or mock lift product. Yes, that's why I'm making y'all this. I'm helping you out, Zuli. This is for your bag for the foiling. This is for cosmetology students. You know, anybody can watch this, but I'm just giving you like the easy, because I pack these bags to teach. And there's a lot of things that if I were a student, I would forget that aren't necessarily on the TDLR website listing of what you need. So that's the bag for your foils. All right. Make sure you have a big enough bag that fits all of this stuff. So that's the foil highlight application bag. I'm sorry, I skipped the chemical prep bag. Okay, so we're going to go backwards because I didn't give you the list for your chemical preparation bag. That's going to be your first bag. So after you, excuse me, after you do your thermal waving part of the test, you're going to do your cleanup, and then you're going to have what's called your chemical preparation. That is going to be 10 minutes of them giving you time to set up for your preparation. You have 10 minutes to complete this. And this is, I'm sorry to mix y'all up. This is going to come before the highlight. Okay? So this is your first one, the chemical preparation bag. It's 10 minutes to complete, and it's 5 points. And they want to make sure that you have the criteria met, sanitation criteria. I'm going to go ahead and just write down the steps just in case some of you are a little late. So the first one is to sanitize. Make sure you sanitize, clean up anything left over from your last practical. The next one is put on gloves. Because remember, you're coming out of your thermal waving, so you're going to put your gloves on. After that, you're going to prepare your mannequin for service. Because you will have already dried hair, what that means is you're going to prep your mannequin for service. That means draping, so I'm going to write draping or re-draping. If you need to detangle at this time, you can. Just getting that mannequin prepped for the next service. So after you prepare your mannequin, get the mannequin situated on the mannequin stand, then you're going to do your sectioning. So that's going to be number 4. You're going to section into 4 uniform quadrants. 4 uniform quadrants. They have to be pretty much the same size. I'm going to write right here. I'm going to leave the bottom just in case you guys are still writing. So number 5, for the chemical preparation, you're going to apply the protective cream. And you guys don't worry, we'll be giving you demos once we get back to school. I wish I had a mannequin here that I could show you. But you're going to apply protective cream only to the quadrant that you're doing the relaxer portion of your test on. So they're going to make sure that you know how to do that application. And then you're going to wait for your proctor to give you the signal to go to foil. The reason why they have you apply the protective cream is because they don't make you pack it in the chemical preparation, because that's part of the preparation. It's just going to save you time since you only have a short amount of time. So you want to make sure that you choose the quadrants that you want to apply your relaxer part. So you would apply the protective cream to those 2 areas. So you want to make sure that you have that in your bag. And we're going to go over the chemical preparation bag right now. Okay. I'll write these 2. So in your bag, bag number 1, you're going to need, again, your optional pair of gloves. I'm going to go ahead and put on the bag, but you should already have gloves on. Again, those are just in case. You're going to need a plastic cape. I would go ahead and pack one just in case you throw away your old one by accident. If you want, you can use the plastic cape from the thermal waving service. But again, I always just tell students you never know how nervous you'll get. Use a kid's cape because it's smaller and it's Velcro and it's easier to attach. Okay, plastic cape. Then you want to also grab 2 towels. That's one for the underneath the cape, one for on top of the cape. Your protective cream. Remember, your protective cream is going to be applied before you start the foil application, so you're going to need it in your chemical prep bag. You're going to need a rat tail comb, not a pintail comb. You need plastic rat tail comb. Actually, you do need the pintail since foiling is the first one. I would pack a couple of those just in case. Or your hydroxide relaxer, however, you're not going to need a pintail comb, so you will need a rat tail comb. And I'm just going to put plastic. That's for your sectioning. Go ahead and pack you some paper towels for cleanup. In case you spill or if you need to sanitize the area. And then I'm going to write up here, you're going to need 6 clips. Butterfly clips work best. They're easier. 6 because you might drop one. 4 for the sectioning. 1 to help with the draping if you need it. 1 for good measure. Doesn't help to have extra. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Mom says make sure the kid's cape is yes. Make sure that kid's cape is a plastic cape or a vinyl cape. Cannot be cloth. Because this is a chemical preparation, good observation. You don't want to use anything that's porous that the bleach or the relaxer product could see through. So all chemical capes for this particular part have to be plastic or vinyl. Excuse me. Y'all got that? Y'all got it? Can I erase? All right. So then once you get your chemical drape and your sectioning and your proctor walks over and says, okay, now you may begin your foil application. So then you're going to do your foil highlight service. Okay, you want to make sure to weave and slice 2 foils, quadrant of your choice. Make sure it's one of the quadrants that you did not outline with the protective cream for your relaxer. So that's going to be that quadrant that you do the foils on. And you guys do a good job. You've got a lot of time for this. Don't blow through it. This is kind of a confusing one because it's giving you 2 different relaxer applications. The foil application will probably be easiest. I personally would probably do my relaxer applications in the 2 rear panels and then maybe the foiling on one of the front panels, just sectioning purposes and all. Okay, so your next, before I go on, do you guys have any questions? Can I answer any questions for you about the chemical preparation? Just let me see, Lauren. Oh, Lauren, yay. Yes, I would too, Aubrey. Yes, I would love to do a practice run. Sure. Bet y'all would. Practice runs though, you guys. If you really, really want to do a practice run, what I would do is I would do one at the school on a mannequin on everything, just based on what I remember first, because it's been a long time. You guys have been out of school a while. It's good to get the notes and read, stay current with TDLR if you have. the alerts that come on your phone. Just keep reading about what the requirements are for state board. Okay. Lauren, you need the kids cake because it's got a Velcro fastening and it's small enough for your mannequin. The larger cakes tend to slide off. Latchmates. I don't know what a latchmate is either. Okay, let's go ahead and do our next bag. That's going to be our hydroxide virgin relaxer service bag. And I'm going to write that. That's going to be your second bag. You have to differentiate. So this is going to be the virgin relaxer service. For those of you that have never done a virgin hydroxide relaxer, the application is different. The first thing I'm going to do, though, is write down what you need in the bag, and then I'll do the procedure. Okay. So for your bag, remember this is one of 4 bags. Your bag is going to have to contain a small container labeled mock hydroxide relaxer. Going to have to be big enough where they can see it. Then you're also going to have another tint bowl and a tint brush. You cannot use the same one from your foil. Okay, you'll need a tail comb, a plastic tail comb, not a metal one. Sorry for my handwriting, guys. You cannot use metal with the hydroxide relaxer. Let me erase this and just put the rest. Okay. You also have to have, in addition to your plastic tail combs, you're going to need a spatula. Again, those 2 large wax sticks. And that's to remove your product and put it into the tint bowl. So just grab a couple of those from the SD area or the wax sticks. Okay, I'll pack a towel as well. Remember, you're already going to have your mannequin draped, but that towel is just for cleanup, for extra added security in case you have a spill. You can also pack paper towels as well. And then, again, your optional item is gloves. I'm going to go ahead and put that on there because I know some of you OCD people are going to want to change your gloves for each one. I would, just you know. All right, 2 gloves or 3. So that's going to be your bag for your virgin hydroxide relaxer service. You can always, again, pack maybe an extra spatula, maybe an extra tail comb. It does not hurt to have extra just in case you drop one and you just want to pull one out of your bag. Just make sure to not cross-contaminate. So if you've already started the application, it's best to just probably have an extra pair of gloves in case you take it off and have to weird yourself out about that. All right, so now I'm going to go over the procedure for the virgin relaxer service. I'm going to erase it all and then just rewrite virgin. Does everybody have those notes? Yes, Chloe, you're absolutely right. Perms and relaxers always react to metal in a bad way. So you want to make sure you have a plastic tail comb for your hydroxide virgin relaxer service. Great observation. So let's go over the procedure for the virgin relaxer. I'm just going to put VR procedure. This is what they're looking for. The procedure, the first thing you're going to do is choose your quadrant. Make sure you know which one that you did the outline of the protective cream on. So either quadrant. You're going to take 1/2 inch subsections. Okay, so what you're going to do is out of that quadrant that you choose, you're going to take 1/2 inch subsection. You're going to isolate that. And then you're going to apply your relaxer, and this is the important part because they want to see it's 1 to 1/2 inch from the roots. Let's just go ahead and say 1 to 1/2. I will go ahead and do 1 just to be on the safe side in case your application gets messy. So 1 to 1/2 inch from scalp. And then 1 inch from the ends. They want to see that mid shaft only that's been treated because this is a virgin application. That means that you know that if you apply that from scalp to ends, they already know that you don't know what you're doing. You don't want to apply it to the scalp first. This was a real relaxer in real life. The roots, because of the body heat or the scalp area, will process too fast. And the ends, because they're porous, will process too quickly. So you need to process the mid strand first. So I would apply 1 to 1/2 inches from the scalp to 1 inch from the ends. Okay. And that's for that entire quadrant. Once you do that, you go through each subsection for that entire quadrant. Then you're going to go back. So I'm going to erase. You're going to apply to your scalp area first, then ends. So you're going to take that same bowl and brush, that same gel, and you're going to go back to the roots and you're going to apply to the ends, and you're going to blend those areas together with your hands. Okay, then you're going to perform your smoothing. Again, you guys, don't worry. We're going to show you all this in live action once we get back. They want to see you perform the smoothing technique for a virgin relaxer, and that's with the spine of the comb. You can use your fingers. And then they're going to tell you, okay, that part of the procedure's over. And then they're going to tell you when to go ahead and set up for your next procedure, which is going to be the Retouch relaxer service. So you'll do your cleanup of that particular service. You can keep your gloves on at this point, or you can take them off. If you pack gloves for your last procedure, you can use those gloves. So once you perform the smoothing, you're done with that part of the practical test. Make sure your subsections are neat and clean, and the proctor is able to see the size of them. They're not smashed or too big or too much gel or crooked or anything like that. All right. You guys have any questions about the virgin application? Yes, do not use the teeth of the comb. Spine of the comb is the back of the comb, and that's what you use to smooth the hair with. Very good. Total points for the virgin relaxer is, of course, your safety criteria, and then 2 points for the actual application. So they're going to watch how you apply. They're going to watch if you are neat. They're going to watch that you take the right size subsections. What they're mainly watching for is the difference between your virgin application and your retouch. And if you know the difference in a virgin application on a relaxer, that you have to start in the mid-strand first. Yes, and I love the way you guys are helping each other out. Thank you so much. It makes it so nice to see that you guys have each other's back from campus to campus. I noticed that on the lives, that if we can't type it in, you guys are always looking out for each other. Yes, help each other out, because sometimes people miss information or they maybe misunderstand it, and they ask questions. Like a good question is, why can't you comb the relaxer through? Because irritation, scalp irritation. Let's see. You're using the Kids Capes, Zuli, for the entire chemical preparation. So you're gonna put that on in the kids in the preparation, and then it's gonna stay on through your foil, through your hydroxide relaxer virgin application and retouch application for each surface. Yes. So you don't take it off. But I've seen people get nervous and just take it off and throw it away, thinking it's cross-contamination to use it for the next one. It stays on for the entire service. And any chemical service should have a plastic cape. Yes, Aubrey Baldridge. Make sure for your wet services, what we call them, you want to have a plastic cape or vinyl cape. And for your dry services, like a blow dry style, or if you put someone under the dryer, you can have a cloth cape because it's cooler. All right. Any questions about the packing, the bags, what you're going to do, sanitation? Now's the time to ask before I lose my voice. And I'm drinking cold water. Okay, so quick recap. 4 bags. Your chemical prep bag. Okay, chemical preparation, that's what you're going to use to drape your mannequin. Section in the 4, get your mannequin ready for the foil application, which is number 1. You're going to do 1 weave, 1 slice, quadrant of your choice. Okay. Then after the foil preparation is done, you're going to do your virgin relaxer, virgin hydroxide relaxer application. All right. Make sure you label hydroxide relaxer on that. All right. Yeah, if you want to go to the TDR website, it'll give you the criteria and each point you get for each one. I think this particular one is a total of 14 points. I'm not sure, but they each add up for each one. The best thing to do is just try to make sure that safety criteria is what you adhere to. They know that you're nervous whenever you do a practical exam. They're not looking for perfection. They're just looking to make sure you don't cross-contaminate, excuse me, that you dispose of your waste material, that list that I gave you, right? Amber says, do we raise our hand after each service or after doing all of the, good question, Amber. Amber, you're going to raise your hand to be graded after each one because the proctor has to tell you when to move on to the next one. That's why it's not timed. Excellent question. So let me erase, and we're going to do our last bag. It's the relaxer, the hydroxide relaxer retouch. I'm going to make it a little closer. So let's do, I think this one is 7 points. Yeah. So this is the very last of the mockeries. They're going to give you a 10-minute window, and they'll tell you, okay, this is the last 10 minutes of this portion, and then you'll have your EOA, which is the end of exam, EOE, the end of exam disinfection cleanup. All right, so for this one, you are going to have to apply relaxer for a retouch application. That's the criteria, that's 1 point. And then your safety criteria. Remember, this is going to be in one of the quadrants that you applied your base cream or your protective cream to. So how you're going to apply the relaxer retouch, you're going to do, I would do a good healthy inch, maybe even 2 inches, just a retouch application. Okay, you're going to take 1/2 inch subsections, something big enough that they can see, and you're just going to apply to the roots only. You're going to do an entire retouch application on that panel, taking 1/2 inch subsections, making sure that you keep those separate and they're clean. All right. Once you're done, bring those links down. Make sure you don't smash it so they can see the size of your subsections. When we say 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, the reason why we tell you a number, because everybody's idea of a 1/2 inch is different. That is just a guideline. What that means is you don't want to be so worried about taking that 1/2 inch subsection just so. The whole objective is to make sure that you're taking a big enough subsection where they can see the actual retouch. Okay. I personally, for this one, would pack a smaller brush, only because sometimes the larger brushes may have a little bit too much product. Okay, so let's do the bag. What you're going to need for this one. And again, this is the last of mockeries. You're going to have 10 minutes. Then they'll tell you, okay, you have 5 minutes remaining. So you're going to have your mock relaxer. Temple. Tint brush. You also need another spatula, because remember, you have to remove the mock relaxer from its container. Can't do that with your fingers. So your optional gloves, put that down here, because you're going to already be wearing gloves, but just in case you want to pack an extra pair of gloves, you may do so. All right. You remember, you are already going to have the barrier cream on, so there's no need to do the barrier cream at this point. The barrier cream has already been put on. So you're just going to go straight into the mockery. All right. I would pack a towel, just an extra towel for cleanup. Paper towels. And a plastic tail comb. Remember, you do not want to pack a pintail comb. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 just in case you drop one. Do not want to use a pintail comb for the relaxer retouch service. do your application. I do not think you are required to smooth on this one, but I will double check. So I'll get back to you on that one. I think you just do the application and then they tell you when you're done and when it's time to clean up. Give you guys a chance to write that down. All right. Sam Saladish, yes, barrier cream goes on 2 quadrants. And that's going to be when you do your chemical prep. Good question. And remember, it's the quadrant of your choice. So you don't have to worry about which quadrant do I do. Before, they told you and assigned you which mockery to do on which one. Now it's the one of your choice. I personally would do the relaxer on the back 2 quadrants, my foil on the front 2. It's just easier to manipulate that hair with gel and easier to do your foil on the front 2 quadrants. Oh, yes. Yes, thank you, Tabitha. For anyone who isn't in the group, it's called Baldwin Beauty School Group. Yes. Oh, she says, don't forget the exclamation point or it won't come up. Thank you, Tabby. Good to know. Do you guys have any questions or concerns about the practical exam? Do I need to answer any of the questions about any of the notes? And again, you guys, don't worry so much about a run through. Honestly, we're going to be doing this for a little bit. So you'll be able to get the information. Also, there's so much information out there from TDLR now, especially now that we're going back sooner than later. So hopefully you guys will study, watch videos if you can. Don't always follow the videos, but go to the TDLR website. That's the best thing to do. Yes. Oh, you're welcome, McD. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I know that this is a lot. Hopefully this helped you a little bit. It's just kind of a simplified version. Yes, well, you're welcome, Miranda. All right, so we are done. What I'm going to do is go ahead and leave you guys on so that you can get your full 2 hours. If you have any questions, just type them in. I'll periodically check, and I'll try to answer you. So if you guys have to leave, just make sure you do your final roll call at the end. I'm losing my voice, so I have to kind of give it a rest, okay? All right. If you have to leave now, I totally understand. We are on for 2 hours, so this is 2 to 4. So I'm just going to put you on mute, and then you guys can have your full time, okay? All right. So remember, do that final roll call for the 2 hours at 4.